Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, November 7th. We have all you need to know about local and statewide elections happening this week.
We also have more on Donald Trump's plans to announce his new presidential campaign, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brendan Conroy.
And I'm Paloma Freundt.
The race for governor and lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania is getting tight as both parties look to secure themselves the job this midterm election. For governor, it is between Democratic candidate Josh Shapiro and Republican candidate Doug Mastriano. The position is currently being held by Democrat Tom Wolf, who has been in the position since 2015. Shapiro's running mate for lieutenant governor is Austin Davis. Davis has the opportunity of becoming the first Black lieutenant governor in the state of Pennsylvania. Mastriano's running mate is Scranton native Carrie Del Rosso. She looks to make an impact and eliminate the being overlooked factor in her career. Davis and Del Rosso are both running for lieutenant governor for the first time.
The Pennsylvania House of Representatives 77th District covers parts of Center County, which includes State College. In this election, Democrat Scott Conklin is seeking his 9th term for the district after winning first the election to office in 2006. He currently serves as the Democratic chair of the House State Government Committee. His opponent is Republican Steve Jetsko of Houston Township. Jetsko previously ran against Conklin for the 77th District in 2020 and lost. Conklin has said if he is reelected, he will focus on abortion rights, economic inflation, education funding, environmental protection, marijuana legislation, among others. Jetsko has said his focus is on local economy, beating inflation, improving education, election integrity, and creating reliable and affordable energy. With elections happening around the country tomorrow, the topic of democracy is more prevalent than ever. Field reporter Olivia Osnemer has all the details on how University Park-based group is trying to educate students on democracy's importance. Take a look.
While scary to admit, democracy is weakening in the United States. Freedom House, a nonprofit that studies democracy, found that democracy in the United States has decreased by 10 points on a 100-point scale in just 10 years. There has been many events and lectures sponsored by the McCourtney Institute for Democracy at Penn State discussing these shifts happening in the United States.
With trends showing political polarization and party divides weakening democracy here in the United States, the McCourtney Institute for Democracy is working tirelessly to inform and educate Penn State on the repercussions and ways to combat these trends.
Using resources at Penn State, the Institute, through teaching, research, and public outreach, encourages students and the local community to get involved with deliberation, policymaking, and responsiveness regarding strengthening democracy. Many experts believe democracy is an essential component of this country, and many students agree.
Democracy is the fundamentally only successful way to organize a society that isn't prone to violence or prone to discord.
Backsliding democracy, meaning a decline in effective parliament. Penn State students are frightened of the future of our nation.
I think it's polarizing. I think we all know that it's polarizing, and when we're polarized, I think it's easy to be distracted from things that really matter.
Co-founders of the States United Democracy Center and CBS News political analyst Jamel Bowie visited Penn State to highlight what the United States is doing wrong and ways to restore democracy.
Policymakers hold a really important role, and I think that they should be held accountable to the people, and I think that holds true for all sorts of regulatory bodies.
For more information about the McCourtney Institute for Democracy, visit democracy.psu.edu.
For the 82nd District in the Pennsylvania State House of Representatives, the race is between candidates Paula Tackett for the Democratic Party and Justin Burns for the Republican Party. When elected, the representative in this district is responsible for the operations and overseeing of that district assigned and each county that lies within the respective district. Right now, the position is being occupied by Republican Jonathan Hershey, who has held the role since he was elected in 2019. Currently, the state House has 25 more representatives from the Republican Party than that of the Democratic Party. Any resident in the state of Pennsylvania who is 18 years of age or older is free to exercise their right to vote in this midterm election.
Several parts of Centre County are within the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, 171st District. Republican Kerry Benninghoff of Bellefonte is seeking his 14th term for the district after first winning his election to the office in 1996. Since 2020, Benninghoff has been House Majority Leader, the number 2 leadership position, and previously Majority Whip. His opponent is Democrat Robert Ziegler of Milheim. Ziegler has been a member of the Milheim Borough Council since 2019 and served 2 years as council president. Benninghoff says if re-elected this term, he is especially passionate about cancer research and other healthcare initiatives, improving education, and being a voice for the victims of crime. Ziegler says he is focused on providing transparency and holding himself responsible to the cause and citizens of the Commonwealth. The leaves may be falling, but state college temperatures reached the 70s this past weekend. What conditions can we expect this upcoming week? Dana Osgood with a campus weather service has more details in this week's weather report. Take a look.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening. I'm student meteorologist Dana Osgood here with your Monday evening forecast. Now that we've switched to standard time, it's looking pretty dark over the hub as the sun has already set, but temperatures are still in the low 60s across the state, which is well above average for this time of year. Highs today reaching into almost 70 degrees in some places. Now, high pressure is in control all the way from the Ohio Valley up into New England. A couple clouds up in Burlington, but otherwise clear skies and temperatures above average. But they're not going to stay above average. In the second half of our period, in the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, all of the lower 48 is going to be seeing high confidence or almost high confidence of temperatures being below average for this time of year. So we're doing a little bit of a flip from September-like temperatures to almost December-like temperatures in the month of November. But high pressure remains in control, so there's not a cloud in the sky to see across our radar and satellite over Pennsylvania. So it's a great day to get out today, and you'll want to get out in the next couple of days as well, because as we go into the latter half of the week and into the beginning of the weekend, we have 2 areas of precipitation to contend with, which is a cold front associated with this low pressure system and the remnants of what is currently subtropical storm Nicole. And this is going to impact our area late in the day on Friday and into Saturday as well. Now, this cold front is going to be dying out as it approaches, bringing mostly clouds. However, the rain is going to be associated with Nicole, which is going to move from south to north across the state on Friday and into Saturday. And some areas could be seeing some heavy showers throughout this as well, with rain total amounts fairly high. And as this exits to our east, our flow comes out of the northwest, which means the northwest is going to be contending with some lake effect snow showers over the end of the weekend. Could even see some light accumulation along with that as well. And if we take a step back from winter and into the tropics, this is currently subtropical storm Nicole, which is expected to impact Florida right now as a Category 1 hurricane around Thursday afternoon. But we will continue to monitor this situation as it develops. Taking it back to Pennsylvania, how much rain will we see from subtropical storm Nicole? Some areas, particularly in south and eastern PA, could be seeing some pretty hefty rainfall amounts. This is the most recent run of the model. So most areas will be seeing almost or over an inch of rain in some places. But again, this will depend on the exact track of the storm. So for today, a high of 68 degrees, plenty of sunshine, and these temperatures are well above average for this time of year. However, overnight, a little bit closer to average with mostly clear skies and our winds calming down, especially because we had some pretty high gusts earlier today. For tomorrow, we rebound to temperatures right around average for this time of year with high pressure in control, mostly sunny skies. 7-day forecast shows we'll be remaining above average in terms of temperature ahead of that system. And then we'll see that cold front also contending with the remnants of Nicole as we go through Friday and Saturday. And here in central Pennsylvania, the sunshine will return for the end of the weekend, but Northwest will have the lake effect snow to contend with. For PSN News, I'm Dana Osgood. Have a good night.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Juliana Tordo with your sports update. This past Saturday, Penn State football took a trip to Bloomington, Indiana to take on the Indiana University Hoosiers. Penn State bounced back from its tough loss against Ohio State last week with a 45-14 win over the Hoosiers. Freshman running back duo Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton showed Indiana what Penn State's run game is made of. Allen ran for 86 yards and 3 touchdowns, with Singleton adding another 73 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. The Nittany Lions defense came up big time with 6 sacks, all in the first half, 3 interceptions, and only allowing Indiana 65 rushing yards. Indiana had Jack Tuttle start over Connor Bazelak, but was injured late in the second quarter and did not return to the game. This left Indiana to play with third-string quarterback and true freshman Brendan Sorsby, who was later replaced again by Dexter Williams III. When it came to Penn State's quarterback spread, Sean Clifford was 15 of 23 with 229 yards and 1 interception. Clifford is now 16 yards away from surpassing Trace McSorley's record as the school career passing leader. Drew Aller also got some playing time this week, going 9 of 12 with 75 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns, 1 to tight end Theo Johnson and 1 to wide receiver Harrison Wallace III. Penn State is now ranked 14th in the AP poll. Back in Hockey Valley, the 13th-ranked Penn State men's hockey team had 2 tight matchups against the number 1-ranked Michigan Wolverines. In Pagula Ice Arena, Penn State shut out Michigan in the first game with a final score of 3-0. The first goal was scored by Cher Linden in the second period. Just 5 minutes later, Ashton Calder tapped in the second goal to extend the lead, and in the third period, Xander Lampa secured the lead with the final goal of the game. When it came to goaltending, Liam Soulier extended his shutout streak and hasn't allowed a goal in the last 176 minutes of game action. That is the longest shutout streak in Penn State history. The Nittany Lions kept making history this past weekend by winning against the number 1-ranked team for the first time ever. In addition to this, Friday night's attendance of 6,445 is the second largest crowd in Pagula Ice Arena history. The second game was a nail-biter with a final score of 4-3, with the Wolverines taking the win in overtime over the Nittany Lions. Penn State was down most of the game, but that did not stop them from scoring 3 goals in the third period. Goal scorers included Tyler Packett, Kevin Wall, and Christian Sarlo, with the exhilarating game ending 45 seconds into overtime with a game-scoring goal from Michigan's Adam Fantilli. Next up, Penn State will travel to Minneapolis to play the University of Minnesota. The World Series has come to a close with the Astros taking the series in Game 6 with a 4-1 win in Houston over the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies took a 1-0 lead in the top of the 6th with a home run from Kyle Schwarber. This lead was short-lived when the Astros answered with a 3-run home run from Yordan Alvarez off of Jose Alvarado. This led the Astros to their second World Series win since 2017. Jeremy Pena was named the World Series MVP, and Dusty Baker won the first World Series title in 25 years as a manager. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Jay Soberto has the latest updates from the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jaso Bardo with your entertainment update. The Penn State Student Programming Association will be hosting actress and author Jeanette McCurdy. A moderated conversation will be held with the celebrity at Schwab Auditorium on Thursday night. McCurdy is best known for her roles on Nickelodeon, where she played Sam Puckett on both iCarly and Sam and Cat. But the child star can add author to her list of accomplishments with her recently published memoir titled I'm Glad My Mom Died. It depicts her rise to fame as a child actress and other personal experiences, including eating disorders, addiction, and her turbulent relationship with her now deceased mother. Despite the seemingly controversial title, McCurdy's book spent 8 straight weeks in the #1 spot of the New York Times bestseller list. Lines for the event can begin forming at 5:30 and doors open at 6:30. Tickets are free and are available for Penn State students right now through Org Central. Grab your cowboy or cowgirl hats and boots because country music superstar Thomas Rhett will be making a stop in Happy Valley on September 22nd. The Die Happy Man singer is set to perform at the Bryce Jordan Center as part of his Home Team Tour 2023, with Cole Swindell and Nate Smith as the show's opening acts. Upon announcing the tour, Rhett said in a statement that being on the road is one of his favorite places to be. Student tickets for the show go on sale this Thursday at 10 a.m. and will go on sale to the general public on Friday at the same time. And while we're on the topic of country music, the 56th annual CMA Awards will be held at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville on Wednesday night. Country music's biggest night will be hosted by Luke Bryan and former Colts quarterback Peyton Manning. The show will kick off with an all-star tribute to one of the most transformational females in country music, Loretta Lynn. Lynn died in October at the age of 90. Alan Jackson will be receiving the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award. That will be accompanied by a tribute performance to Jackson from Dierks Bentley, John Party, Carrie Underwood, and Lainey Wilson. Wilson leads the pack as the night's top nominee with a total of 6 nominations. But all eyes will be on Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, Chris Stapleton, Carrie Underwood, and Morgan Wallen, who are nominated for the night's most coveted award, Entertainer of the Year. You can watch the CMA Awards Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on ABC. You won't want to miss it. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, interview anchor Danielle Dempsey will be speaking to the Director of Events for Penn State Spa, Jessica Markovich. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
Like us making shows out
First, I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you say
I know.
She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Whitney Houston. Like,
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State,
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Hello and welcome back to PSN News. I'm Danielle Dempsey. Here with me tonight is Jessica Markovich, the Director of Events for SPA. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So can you explain to us what SPA is?
All right. So SPA is the Student Programming Association here at Penn State. And our mission is to bring a bunch of fun, diverse events for the student body, free events, something to enhance the co-curricular experience for all the students.
That's great. And so what do those events look like?
So they range from comedy events to concerts to lectures to different novelty events like glow-in-the-dark roller skating or just something simple as like a make and take stuffed animal.
Those all sound so fun. So what do you do as the Director of Events for SPA to bring these comedy events or concerts or conversations?
Yeah, so as Director of Events, I kind of work closely with all the programming and hospitality chairs for SPA. They do all the heavy lifting of reaching out to all the vendors, to the middle agencies, and I just help guide them and assist them any way I can in the planning process of it all until the day of the event. All through.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have you been with SPA?
I've been with SPA since my freshman year. I attended the David Dobrik virtual Q&A, and I'm like, oh, I want to do it. So
Yeah.
I've been there for about 2 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. So you've been there for 2 years, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of events come and go. So this is definitely going to be a hard question for you, but if you had to choose a favorite past SPA event, what would it be?
Oh, I would probably have to say Young Gravy. I was on the hospitality committee for that time, so I got to interact with him personally one-on-one. Yeah, and shopping for the rider was fun, just interacting with him, and the concert itself was an absolute blast. So I think that would have to be my favorite.
That's awesome. So we've covered past events. What events can we look forward to in the future coming from SPA?
All right. So as Jace mentioned, we have Jeanette McCurdy coming this Thursday at 7 p.m. in Schwab Auditorium. Tickets just went live. We're about 500 sold, I believe, last time I checked.
Wow.
And then also we just announced tonight as well, we have a noontime concert series. So every other Tuesday, we have a performer come to Hub 008 in the Hub. And tomorrow we're having Daigo. He'll be there at noon. And then if you want to keep an eye out in December, on December 2nd, we have a very exciting event coming up.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to that. I know that I can't wait for the Jeanette McCurdy event. I was in the studio signing up, RSVPing to make sure I could get in. As Jace mentioned, she just came out with the best-selling book, but I think it's going to be so cool for us to hear it straight from her, and it's going to be really like a really cool event.
Yeah.
So, what is the process of getting in contact with these speakers and performers like Young Gravy or Jeanette McCurdy that have come in the past?
Yeah, so it's a couple weeks, it's a long process. So we begin with a meeting with our general members, and it takes over the course of a couple weeks. We brainstorm some names of who we want to see, break it down, narrow it down, and then our programming chairs will reach out to middle agencies. So some middle agencies we work with are called Concert Ideas and Degi Entertainment, and then they kind of go ahead and contact the artists themselves and their agencies.
Okay, wow. So a lot of middleman work.
Yeah, a lot of middleman.
That's really cool. And so what preparations are underway for this week's event with Jeanette McCurdy besides tickets just going on sale today?
So as we posted, we have, we're giving away 100 free signed copies. So we're just preparing the books, preparing the logistics of the day of, making sure everything will run smoothly.
Awesome. I know that I cannot wait. I think she's going to be awesome. So if you could have any celebrity come speak at Penn State, I know this is another really difficult one to choose, but if you had to choose any celebrity, who would you have?
Okay, I've narrowed it down to two. I would do either Remy Bader or the Duffer Brothers. I'm
Okay.
curious to see what they would have to say.
Okay, who's Remy Bader?
Remy Bader is a social media influencer. She's very much for body positivity, and I think not only is that, but she's hilarious. So I think she would be really good to have.
That'd be awesome, especially talking about body positivity to a bunch of
Mhm.
college students. I think that could be relatable and something that students would be really interested in,
Most
in
certainly,
hearing.
yeah.
And the Duffer Brothers?
They are the creators of Stranger Things. I'm just
Okay.
personally curious to see their like creative process of the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be super interesting. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in
Yeah, of
tonight. I can't
course.
wait for the Jeanette McCurdy event on Thursday and all the other events that SPA has coming up in the
Yeah,
future.
well, thank you for having me.
Next up, Brendan and Paloma will bring us the latest news from across the nation. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University. Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
The race for a U.S. Senate representative from Pennsylvania is heating up as we close in on midterm election day. The contest is between Democratic candidate John Fetterman and Republican candidate Mehmet Oz, also known as Dr. Oz. Current office holder Republican Pat Toomey is not running for re-election. For Oz, the former surgeon and TV personality, this is his first run for political office. He seeks a win over Fetterman, the current lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania and former mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania. Fetterman is the favorite to win this election, but as we've seen in the past, anything can happen on election day.
Republican U.S. Representative Glenn Thompson and former Lewisburg Borough Council member Mike Molliksvik are racing each other for the 15th district seat. Molliksvik, an environmental consultant and Democrat, said he is running to uphold the Constitution and not a political party. Thompson has served in the 5th Congressional District since 2009 until it was redrawn into the current 15th District. The district now covers all or parts of 18 counties, which now includes Snyder and Union. Thompson says he wants to use his ability as a member of Congress to focus on the economy and fix inflation, which he blames on the Biden administration.
Former President Donald Trump is preparing his supporters for his third presidential bid following this year's midterm elections. Although no final decision has been made and Trump could change his mind at any time, it looks like he's going to put himself back in the race for the White House. Trump opened his campaign last week with rallies in Iowa, where he attracted a crowd of a decent size to hear him speak. He will continue to visit more states in hopes of pulling potential voters in his direction. Trump is very likely to run once again, and even stated, quote, "In order to make our country successful and safe and glorious, I will very, very, very probably do it again," end quote. What Trump does will be determined in the upcoming weeks, and will be sure to keep the elections exciting.
Kash Patel, a close ally of former President Donald Trump, said he was present at Trump's declassified broad categories of materials. Patel testified Thursday after the Justice Department granted him immunity from prosecution and after a federal judge in Washington entered a sealed order to that effect. He invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination during an earlier appearance before the grand jury. Due to the importance of his witness statement, Patel was granted a limited form of immunity that protects him from having his testimony used against him. In an issued statement, Patel made clear that his appearance was not voluntary and denied that he had reached any sort of immunity deal. It is not clear what Patel told the grand jury. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.